Good afternoon from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Wednesday, January the 20th market update. On the economic front, the PPI came in at 0.2% with core PPI at 0%. Year over year is up 4.4%. Housing starts were down 4%, but it did show a continued rise in permits. On deck for tomorrow, we have jobless claims. Estimate is for 440,000. We have Philly Fed, petroleum status, and nat gas reports. Earnings, there's too many to really cover them all, but Wells Fargo, eBay, and Starbucks beat on earnings per share and revenue. Bank of America lost 60 cents a share, which was worse than expected, but the revenue jumped due to the acquisition of Merrill Lynch. Market seemed to think that's fine. Bank of America went higher. F5 Network, Skyworks Solutions, Z-Linux, Seagate, all of them had pretty good quarters, and so tech still looks pretty good. On deck for tomorrow, we have Goldman Sachs and Google. The dollar was up significantly today. Gold, silver, copper, and oil were down. So we're looking at the UUP, which is the dollar ETF. You can see that here, and here, we've touched around this $23.20 before, and we've been rejected. But the MACD is much higher now, and it's turned up here. And we've got volume, so I'm not sure if we'll break through it. If we break through this, I expect this to put a lot of pressure, a lot more pressure on commodities, coal, the copper, the energy, gold, silver, all that. So we'll keep an eye on that. Light sweet crude futures were down $1.40 to settle at $77.62 a barrel. Let's take a look at the Dow. Dow closed down 122 points to 10,603. S&P closed down 12 points to 1,138. The Nasdaq closed down 29 points to 2,291, and the Russell closed down 9 points to 639. The S&P held up the best, down 1.06%, and the Russell had the biggest loss, down 1.47%. So if you look at the down here, we basically have gone, the sideways stuff again. Pretty big moves that are starting to pick up. Here, we basically have gone nowhere over the last few days. You notice we bounced off the 30-day moving average on the Dow, 10,500, previous resistance. May hold as new support. We broke through it already once here and went back up, but we held the 30 there. So it's trying to hold the 30, and we did have buying coming in, as you can see by this candle later in the day, which was pretty positive, but the MACD does look like it's turning down. S&P is the same way, still stuck going in here. You note that the 1,150 to this 1,130 area, this 20-point channel. If we break down, we possibly could go down to the 20 points minus the 130, would get you a target of about 1,110 might be where we're headed. That will remain to be seen depending on earnings and the dollar every day. Let's take a look at gold. Gold broke through the 110 again. Volume, the MACD's curled back over. Again, this is going to be really volatile, as well as silver, depending on whatever the dollar is doing. And the silver looks like it's got, it actually hit this downtrend line on my MACD and roll back over as well. So it looks like we've got a little lower to go on silver, which will probably be all of them. The VIX, let's see here. The VIX still in this kind of channel down, but I will note that on the point and figure chart that the VIX did print a buy signal today with a price objective of 24. And we do have a trend line resistance here around this area here, but the VIX is on a buy signal, which it would be, if it maintains that, it would be more bearish for stocks. Only one of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. The bank index was up 1.4%, and the gold index was the weakest, down 3.91%. There's a quick look at the chart. Let's go to Chart Watch. Quite a few charts to check out. Interoil. Lots of buy-in, went flying off its uptrend line. Everybody wants that stock, evidently. Suncor. It actually is hanging right here on its uptrend line. And I know the MACD is rolling over, but keep an eye on Suncor. It really wasn't down all that much today. Atwood Oceanics, we've been watching this, held up really well today. It's bounced right off that trend line, and it's holding up really well. So possibly a buy over today's high. Celgene, still hanging tough after it broke out. Still like it. LZ, been watching this, went higher today. These infrastructure plays seem to be getting a lot of interest. That Foster Wheeler bounced off the downtrend line as support. CBI went higher. CBI. Let me get it in here. Chicago Bridge and Iron looked really good today. And Jacobs Engineering actually watched the middle of that large candle as possible support where it pushed off of. I like Jacobs Engineering much better if it'll print about 42 and take out its downtrend line. Fluorocorp looking pretty good. Possible support at 47.50, so keep an eye on that one. FLR. Netflix has been hanging really tough around this consolidating here at this $50.55. Keep an eye on that to see if it can hold it. CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill, hanging tough, consolidating up there, very good. TCLP, gas pipeline, pays almost 8% dividend. Good long-term investment here. Trying to break out of a symmetrical triangle. I like it. JBHT. Trucking company bounced off its uptrend line and didn't have that much selling today, so it looks like they're wanting to hang on to that and take it higher. Cardinal Health up against resistance. Watch for a breakout over today's high. Textron hanging tough, still looks pretty good up there. Intel's hanging tough, look pretty good. FFIV, F5 Networks had good earnings after the bell, and it's even up higher after hours. Pega, I like this tech stock. Looks like it's got a possible little pennant, so watch for a break to the upside or downside out of the little pennant. VMware went down, touched that uptrend line. Not that really heavy selling, so it still looks pretty good here. They didn't want to sell nat gas stocks today. CHK held up really well. APC held up really well. This energy stock, Swift Energy Company, held up really well. Watch POT here. It could break down from its uptrend line, but it looks like they're trying to stop it right there, and had hardly any volume today, so they definitely were not interested in selling POT at this level. PNC breaking higher. State Street, nice earnings, went higher. BIC taking a little bit higher. It's got some overhead resistance on the downtrend line. Amazon still hanging tough at that support area. Joy Global still consolidating sideways. CAT still trying to hold on around that support area, some little bit around it. Granger, they don't want to sell this one either. They're wanting to go up. Intuit, we've been watching this. Tried to break down through that 31 support area, and they caught it and ran it back up. Fluor Systems, watch the trend line here, and did have quite a bit of volume today trying to sell it though, so keep an eye on that. NetLogic, another tech stock that I like, so watch for a breakout or a breakdown out of the symmetrical triangle. Let's take a look at the current market signals. We follow the point figure charts for the Dow, NASDAQ, S&P. The Dow and S&P do remain on buy signals. The NASDAQ printed a sell signal today on the point figure chart with a new price objective of 2,210. Take a quick look at the NASDAQ point and figure chart. So one box doesn't concern me a lot. If we print 2,260, then I would consider it more confirmed that we're going to go lower. But sometimes we'll print one box that's on a sell signal and we'll turn and go right back up. So let's keep an eye on that. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me, and remember to always invest sharp.